It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium. 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 Show.
Hello, am I central? Hello everybody, welcome to my tutorial today. It's filthy weather out there, isn't it, Christopher? Oh, of course.
Yes, Gillian.
I caught him unawares then. We had a lovely day off yesterday. It was our anniversary, wasn't it, darling?
Yes, Gillian.
And we had a whole day off and we were having a lovely time until my daughter had a flat tire in my car in a torrential rainstorm, and then it all ended, our lovely day. But, you know, it was nice not to be at work, and we went out for a lovely lunch. So all is well. I think it continues to be a bit filthy out there, the weather. One minute it's sunny and the next minute it's torrential downpours. So perfect for crafting and snuggling up. And of course the clocks went back last night, so now it's all getting a bit more wintry. We forgot, didn't we? And set the alarm this morning. And then Chris said, didn't the clocks go back last night? I was like, oh, damn it. Anyway, so we stayed in bed for a bit longer. But anyway, we are going to make Felt Bauble Advent Calendar. Okay, here's my new kit. Some of you may have got a slightly different kit, which made by Rico, and now there's this kit in its place. Long story, I won't bore you with the details. And I'm going to show you how to make it today. Okay, and it is hanging behind me. Ta-da! I did drop it on the floor earlier, which was slightly stressful because it's quite difficult. Pardon?
You did.
I did.
You did.
Which was slightly stressful because it's quite difficult to get all the baubles hanging in the right place, you know. But anyway, we're back on track. First of all, let me start off by just showing you what's in the packet, because it's like really stuffed full, okay? It's all very straightforward, this felt bauble making, okay? And I think it's something that would be lovely to do with kids. I did whiz mine together on a sewing machine really fast because I didn't have very much time, but I think it would be nice to do it with children with hand sewing, if I'm honest. If I'm saying older children, if they're really young children, they'd probably need quite a lot of supervision because there's cutting and sewing involved, but older children, fine. So in the packet, what you get is not just one wad of felt, okay, loads of bits of felt, but two. So in all you get 50 squares of felt. Okay, let me just take all
Goodness,
this out.
that's a lot of felt,
It
Gillian.
is a lot of felt, isn't it? 50 squares. The reason being you're making 25 baubles, okay? So when I put them all together, you'll see what a huge, great big wad it is. So here's the wad. Whoa, look at those. So let's just put those to one side for a second. Well, they're so high, they're going to get in the way of me. And then they come in the packet also with a big roll of silver thread, which you're going to need, and also some red glittery thread, which you're going to need, and then the very important instructions and the even more important templates. Okay, so very straightforward. You're going to need to cut out these templates, and I'm going to go through it with you now. When you're using your felt, use it carefully. So when you're cutting your shapes, use the edge so that you end up with lots left here, and then you can cut the decoration-y bits that go on top, like the ziggy-zaggy bits and the round bits that sit on top. You'll have loads of felt left over. The pack does include some brown colours. I mean, no one wants brown baubles, do they? Oh, I wouldn't want brown baubles, but you know, I can think my mother might like some if she's watching, some beige baubles. She likes, you know, beige or blue. Anyway, she probably wouldn't want any baubles actually, thinking about it. But what I was going to suggest was if you use the drab colour, what I call the drab colours, the neutral colours, on the back sides of them. So when you're making them, you could use a nice colourful colour on the front and then a slightly darker colour on the back. That's how we can use that bit of felt. You're probably going to have quite a bit left over. Dare I suggest it? You might be able to get another one out of them, but I haven't tried that, so don't quote me on that. If you've got the Rico kit, the threads are slightly different. You probably won't be able to use that thread on a sewing machine. You'd only be able to use the one in our new kit on a sewing machine. Okay, either or, all right. So first things first, you're going to take your templates. If you go to the overhead camera for me, Christoph, please. So your templates look like this when you get them out of the packet. Oh, where's my markers? Here we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut 9 pairs of this one, 8 pairs of this one and 8 pairs of that one. Then I have also included a little stitch guide here for the numbers. Okay, so I'm just going to put those to one side for a second. Now you can see here I've cut these shapes out already. Okay, I mean everyone knows how to cut shapes out of felt, don't they? Well, let's just go through it. So what you can see here is I've just pinned it on with a pin, and then I'm just going to use my scissors. Very sharp scissors recommended. Okay, you've got your fabric scissors, which I seem to think that people keep taking from my studio and using to open cardboard boxes with at the moment, but I could be wrong, but some of them seem to have lost their sharpness. So nice sharp scissors, comme ça. Okay, and then once you've cut out all of your pairs, so there's a pair here, I've got a pair here, there's my pair here. Once you've cut out all of your pairs, then you're going to use the same templates to do the decorative panels on top. So then I've cut this to make this shape here. So then I'm just going to cut out this decorative panel on top, which is essentially basically a rectangle, but it's got slightly curved edges like this and like this. And then I'll get rid of that. And then that sits on top like that. Okay, so there's a bauble. Here's one I prepared earlier. Let me get my pins out of the way now. Right, okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to talk you through the best way of sewing the numbers on, okay? Then I'm going to talk you through the best way of sewing them together, and then we're going to discuss some options for what one could possibly put inside them, okay, which is the most exciting bit, obviously. All right, so with the numbers, I always do mine freehand, but I have just made this little guide here for people that don't feel quite so confident about doing that. So you could trace these and then you know, just use a marker pen or something to guide yourself on the felt as well. What I would suggest you do though, and what I've done here, is I've just used a few little blobs of my favourite glue. Ta-da! What's my favourite glue called, Christopher? Oh, he hasn't got his microphone on. What's it called?
Gem tack?
God, so painful. Sorry about that. Gem tack, yeah. So that's kind of what I was trying to get Christopher to say. What I'd advise doing, instead, you can just hold the pieces together, okay, and then stitch the number on. But what you could do is just put a few little blobs around the edges, just to glue the front panel to the front of the bauble, okay, before you stitch it, and then it's held in place. Or you could pin it in place, either or, doesn't really matter. Top tip, don't use loads of glue underneath it, because then it makes it really difficult to put the needle through and stitch the number on. Found that out the hard way. Okay, so when you are stitching the numbers on the front, obviously 1 to 25, one for each day of Advent until it's Christmas Day from the beginning of December, only stitch through the front of the bauble. Don't stitch the whole thing together, otherwise you won't be able to put anything inside because it will be stitched together. Found that out the hard way as well. I wasn't concentrating and just stitched one together. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly show you. I'd started to do a number 9, all right, just randomly. I was thinking, which is the easiest number to stitch live on camera? 1. Okay, no, that's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to do 9. So I'm just doing this by eye. If you can go back to the overhead again, please, Christopher. All right, so I've just started there. So I'm just doing it in quite a sort of naive kind of running stitch style, okay? I've stitched up, I've threaded up the red glittery thread, okay? And then I'm just going to curve it around as I go. Now I had a few messages when I suggested, when I asked everybody what they thought we should stuff into these Advent baubles, other than perhaps what I've got on the table here. Quite a few of you suggested jewels, which made me
Jewels?
laugh. Yeah, jewels. I was thinking, what, like diamonds? I mean, you know, obviously that would be nice. It might be quite pricey, one would imagine, if they were real. And especially, would you want 25 is the question? You'd have to mix it up a bit. Then someone else suggested lots of lovely little haberdashery items, which I thought was quite nice. So you could do, you know, a set of needles, some, I don't know, tailor's chalk maybe, but you'd have to make sure they were small enough to fit in. Okay, so then someone else said, well, I've got 2 children. Are they big enough to put in 2 sweeties? Well, yes, they are actually, because I tested that out earlier. Right, now I'm just finishing this off on the back. I just do a little knot, just thread it under a stitch, and away you go, and trim the end, and there's my number 9. Okay. So it does take a little while to go through all from the number. Do you want to go back to me for a second, darling, please? It does take a little while to go all the way through the numbers from 1 to 25. I did it in a day. I made them all in a day. But like I said, I did use a sewing machine and I was going for it hammer and tongs really fast. It might be nicer to do it slightly more genteelly over a slightly long period of time. And of course, you've still got, what date is it? October the 25th. So you've still got 35 odd days to make it in before you need to use it. So plenty of time. All right, so once you have stitched all of the numbers in place, then you're going to stitch the baubles together. Like I said, I did it on the sewing machine. You've got this silver thread to do this. It's lovely and it's shiny and it's metallic and gorgeous, but it does have a bit of a mind of its own if you're using it on a sewing machine. So my top tip for using it on a sewing machine is stitch really slowly. Okay, if you can get your machine to just go really slowly, plod along slowly and it won't tangle. And then also do quite big stitches, because it's nice to be able to see the stitching because it's shiny. So you don't want it too small and like hidden in the depths of the felt. But if you're hand sewing it, like I'm going to right now, if you can go back to the overhead again, please, sweetie, then I've just done a simple running stitch going around here. So you don't want to start right at the top because you've got to leave an opening for your contents in a minute, okay? So I've started about, I don't know, just over an inch down, and then I've just running stitched all the way around there, all the way up here, and I'm just going to literally just finish it off now, okay? And I'm just going to do another one to there, like that, and then I'm just going to come back through and then I'll finish it off on the inside. And also you might want to think about just doing an extra stitch here and here, especially if you want to reuse them, because that's the bit that will be stressed the most as you take something in and out of the inside of it, okay? So you would just finish off your stitch on the inside and just make a little knot on the inside of it like so, and I'm just going to do that again, and then I'm just going to hook it through there, and then I'm just going to cut that off. And then when you're actually stringing them up, if you go back to me a sec, Chris, when you're actually stringing them up, you want to make sure that they're nice and they're spaced nicely so that they hang nicely wherever you're hanging them from. So if you're hanging them from a mantelpiece, then obviously you can just do them separately. But if you're hanging them, I've used a dowel, which you can't actually quite see in shot. I've painted a dowel red and white stripes. It's in the packet here actually. You can see it there. Okay, and I just hung them from that, or like an old broom handle type scenario, or a stick. Everyone's got a stick in the garden, haven't they, Christopher? Or a branch?
Yes.
Good answer. So yeah, anything like that. But what I found, the way I found it easiest was I laid it on the table, okay? And then I threaded my silver thread. Once I'd stuffed it, I threaded my silver thread through each one, and then I tied it over the top of the dowel or the broom handle, whatever you're using, and then I spaced them out, okay? The other way you could do it is you can space them out first on the table, okay? Get the pattern you want without any of the silver threads, and then add the silver threads one by one. Or you could hang it up and do it hanging up. I just found it easier with it lying down, to be honest. Otherwise they have a bit of a mind of their own and they kind of move around. But once you've got them done, then it's all good. So that would be how you would just thread it through to have it hang. Okay, so before you do that, obviously you've got to put the exciting bits inside, okay? So if you want to go back to the overhead, Christopher, please. I've just done the long one here, but I just wanted to show you. Let's just see, actually. I've got a bag of Lindors, my favourites, okay? They're nice and small, actually. They're foil wrapped. Don't put anything in these that isn't foil wrapped, okay? Don't put food straight against the felt. Not a good idea. But let's see how many of these we can get in. So if you've got twins or brothers and sisters that you need to have something for everybody, let's see how many we can actually squeeze in here. 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, I've promised Chris that we can eat the whole bag of them for lunch.
All of them for lunch.
Yes. Nice healthy lunch.
Lunch of kings.
So look, there we go. I've got 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like a pea pod now. It has distorted it a little bit, okay? So you could get 4 Lindors in that one. And I reckon, actually, you could probably get this is a lynch teddy, all right? He's going in head first. And then he'll come out. He's going in breech. He's going to come out bum first once he's in. There we go. He's in as well. Okay. So lint teddies are a possibility. And actually, when you look at the shapes, I reckon you'd easily, if you left enough of a gap at the top, you'd easily get a lint teddy in that one. You'd easily get 4 of those in. You'd probably get 5 in of those, actually, I reckon, in that shape. And then the other shape's the round shape. Again, I reckon you'd get them in there as well. So that's the options with what you can stuff inside. And then obviously you're going to put your thread on and you hang them up. So the ones I've got behind me here, Vision Mixer, I have boringly stuffed with wool just because I hadn't had a chance to go to the shops.
Yum, can I have those
The
ones?
sweeties, yes. So don't eat those for Advent. They wouldn't be very tasty with them. Bit chewy. Wool. Oh, it's wool again today, the 24th. Oh, wool. So yes, have I got any questions? I'm feeling like I haven't because it's all quite straightforward and not very complicated. But I just wanted to sort of run through it with you because it is so straightforward. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood that and didn't think that there was something really tricky. It is basically cutting out lots of shapes. It is sewing the numbers on the front with the red glittery thread, and it is sewing them all together and hanging them up. That's it. If you've got the Rico kit, it's very similar. The colours of the thread are slightly different. The colours of the felt are slightly different, but more or less the same. And the shapes are slightly different. And the instructions are slightly different. But if you've watched this and you've got the kit, I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. But I just think it's really, really colourful, pretty, easy, fun thing to make. At the moment, it's nice to have a fun, jolly, happy thing to do, isn't it? Rather than just sit and look at the rain and feel glum about what's going on in the world at the moment. So I just think it's a fun, nice thing. So that's it. Have I got any questions?
Your mother's saying that she would have something that was brightly coloured, not
she?
beige.
Not beige.
So either she's making the
It's
point
only
that
a
she's
trouser, only a trouser,
in beige.
or a carpet in beige,
or a wall.
not a felt bauble.
No felt baubles.
No.
Brightly coloured, she said.
Brightly coloured. Well, there you are. I was wrong. But anyway, even if you are my mother, you could use. And will she be making one of these kits?
That I can't say.
Even if you are my mother, you could use the duller pieces of felt for the backs is the point. There's plenty of felt here. There's plenty. There's plenty of bright colours, more than enough. So you won't be stuck for bright colours. And like I said, you could, another thing you could do if you didn't want to use my templates is you could make them slightly bigger, these shapes, because I think you'd have enough. And then you'd be able to put even larger things inside, like, oh, I don't know, the world's your oyster. Oh, Chris is looking at me like he might have a suggestion.
No.
No, okay. So that's it. If no one have any questions, I shall move on. You sure there aren't any? Have you checked all of your screens?
I've got so many screens.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there we go.
Oh,
There is a question.
oh, go on. I'm so thankful.
Claire Cox.
Oh, thanks, Claire. Far away,
Do you want me to ask it?
please.
What now?
Right now.
Okay. Claire Cox on Facebook
Yeah.
asks how much the kit is.
Oh, sorry. It's $13.95, which is actually jolly good value, all things considered, considering how much 50 squares of felt in there you get, okay? 15 centimetre squares times 50. So, yeah, it's $13.95. I have got a limited number at the moment, but I'm hoping we'll be able to carry on making these if we need to. But, yeah, that includes the threads, and it includes the felt and in the templates and the instructions, okay? And you can buy it from our website. It's under new on our website at the moment. If you're watching this in 5 years' time, it won't be under new anymore. You'll have to search for it. Felt Bauble Advent Calendar Kit. Okay, any more for any more?
Not at the minute.
All right, so next Sunday I am going to do Bob the Rob. We had a little poll on Instagram last week about which one you wanted me to do first out of this and the Felt Angel kit. So I'm going to do Bob first, okay?
But
So,
I want to do the Felt Angel kit.
well, you're just going to have to wait, Christopher.
Can I do it at home in my own
You
time?
may.
How much is the kit?
The Felt Angel kit, I don't know. I haven't.
Oh.
You've caught me unprepared
Oh,
for that.
good.
The Felt
There we
Angel
go.
kit is, I think, £24-ish.
Oh.
£24.95, £23.95, something like that. One of my staff may comment now saying, actually, it's this much. Or maybe not. They might not be watching. They might be at home sleeping in. Bob the Rob is, I think, £13.95 as well. Anyway, he's a felt robin kit and it's needle felted. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to make Bob next week. Do you want to just go to the overhead for a second so I can show people a bit more clearly? So there's Bob, okay. I've got various iterations of Bob actually. Here, let me just get some to show you. So so this one's wearing glasses. Actually, go back to the overhead. This one's wearing glasses. This one's got a moustache and a quiff. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. And then some have got, oh, there's loads of them here, look. Oh, he's not finished yet, he's got stripes. But anyway, and then I think, oh, there's another one here, look, it's got some little silver spots. Now, I usually run this workshop in my studio, but I'm going to do it online for you for free, okay? And that's next Sunday at 11. So that's Sunday the 1st of November, 11 a.m. If you want to get your kit beforehand, we'll be shipping tomorrow, we'll be shipping again on Wednesday. You'll be get them in time. I would order it before Wednesday if you want to have it in time to do it with me next Sunday, okay? And in this, you get the merino wool tops, obviously, to make him. You get the cord, which is very clever because it acts as a hanger and it also acts as his legs, okay? And you get 2 felting needles and you get some step-by-step instructions, okay? But so I'm going to show you how to make him really fun to hang on the Christmas tree or around the house at Christmas time. Very popular. So do join me next Sunday for that. Any more questions before we depart? No.
No.
It's all very quiet today. I hope you have a lovely week. And if you are now, isolating again or quarantining again, then keep your pecker up, is what I would say. And try not to get too glum. And do a bit of crafting. Do what makes you feel happy. and hopefully the sunshine is coming out again tomorrow. That always helps a little bit. And I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Cheery bye.